Hold up, sorry, I was just setting this up real quick.
Oh, no worries. Yep. Fixing. Take brief here also.
I'm sorry?
Oh, I'm just doing the same thing, like fixing my table over here.
Okay. Yeah, so you are literally my first interview for this
Oh, cool.
project. So you're kind of the tester for a lot of things like sound recording and all of that.
No worries.
So, and by the way, name's JC. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. James, but I go by Lichi on mostly for Digimon.
Yeah, I noticed a lot of people use their I guess their Discord names as just their name overall.
Yeah, cause I don't know. It's I think it gets stuck with you. The more you play, the more you get known. It's like whenever they do like a big tournament and they just post like real names.
Yeah.
You kind of have no clue who the player was because you know the Discord names, but you don't. Yeah, you don't know the real names.
I was just in a chat that I'm not even from their city, but there was a Facebook chat, and they transferred over to Discord, and I have no idea who any of these people are by their Discord names. So I'm just like, oh yeah, you.
Yeah. No, now I'm like eventually knowing a couple of guys, but most of them's like, yeah, you still have no clue who they are. Just like realize that, oh, that's you.
And so is Digimon the first TCG you've played, or have you played TCGs prior to this?
I mean, I jumped in on Pokemon before, but that was like when I was a kid. That was like matchup, and Mewtwo started that era.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, I just played for fun, and like maybe for like two, 3 sets on the OG Pokemon. But afterwards, I haven't really played TCGs as much. I guess Hearthstone would be the one I've been like just been playing around for a while.
Is that still going?
Competitively. Yeah, that's it. No, yeah, it's like Digimon is my first like physical competitive TCG.
Oh, okay. Is Hearthstone still getting like competitive support and whatnot?
I have no clue. I gave up on Hearthstone. I have no clue anymore. I mean, I just played there for ranking too. Like, just try to go to Master Rank or Legend Rank. I forgot how Hearthstone ranking works. But yeah, just build your deck. Try to go up the ranks, and that was it. And nothing competitive, really. I do enjoy watching players though, like the competitive ones. But gave up on it because I don't know. It just felt bad every time they did new sets.
And when did you jump?
Oh, go ahead.
When did you jump into Digimon? Like what set?
On the starting set on 1.0. Like as soon as I heard they were doing Digimon, I'm like, all right, I'll jump in. But there was the scarcity issue of the boxes, and they were like super expensive. So I think I remember just buying 2 boxes, and I started from there, and eventually got hooked because I've been like a or OG Digimon fan like ever since like the cartoon from like the original Digimon cartoon and the Digimon World games.
So did you play Digimon World 1?
Yeah, I love that game. That game's probably number 1. Yeah, I think that game was the original Dark Souls. You as a kid playing that game? Oh my god. That game's scary.
Actually, I always felt like I was the only one who thought. I just thought I was really bad at games. I could never get past and past a Numamon. As a kid, I just gave up.
Yeah, but so that game was extremely hard, and it wouldn't teach you anything on how to play. But if you actually do like a simple objective, like bringing a Digimon into your city, it felt so rewarding. That's why I got hooked into that thing. And as a kid, like, and there was like no walkthroughs before, no nothing. You just have to go blind and go like do an adventure. Oh man, that game was the best. Uh, yeah, that game was extremely hard. It walled off a lot of people. But if you got through the difficulty of that game, yeah, I love that game. That's like number one for me.
So you said you're a Digimon fan. What is your favorite Digimon?
Megadramon, yeah, just because of World One. Like,
Okay.
yeah, I think it was the first Digimon evolved into Ultimate, and I was super lucky to get that Digimon. I'm like, wow, this is the coolest thing ever. Then he died and became like an egg again. But yeah, I think that's my favorite. But I've always been into like the whole Blue Metal Greymon Machine Dramon line, and that's why it relates also to the color I picked on the card game. Like most of my Digimon that I like is in black, and I end up playing as a black player on the TCG.
That's pretty cool. That was actually a question that I was going to ask too. Just kind of like your inspiration for the deck. So it was really you liking the card.
Yeah, I'm more of a Digimon fan first before a TCG player. Like I would not try to be like meta on playing the game. Like I would just care about like, if I like this Digimon, I would try to make him work as much as possible. And if it works, I'm super happy about it. If it doesn't work, I'm playing about Bandai for that one. I'm missing out on making some Digimon like super good. But yeah, I'm always like I like this Digimon like BlackWarGreymon. I love BlackWarGreymon. That's why I'm over my playing time on the whole TCG. I've shifted towards trying to make him work, and yeah, I got some results. Even before like BT4, I got some tops with BlackWarGreymon too.
That's pretty
So
cool.
yeah,
That's actually
more of
why I chose you as someone to interview as the first one because I really liked your deck. I had questions, and I also
oh sure.
saw your just your thoroughness, especially in the videos. I was like, oh, this person's good. Like he's someone that can speak.
Nice. Yeah, I'm honored. But yeah, I do feel like there's a whole good players out there too. There's some crazy good players. Uh, but for me, the way I play is, uh, I love a whole bunch of Digimon and I hate a whole bunch of Digimon too. And like I dislike, not really hate, I dislike them. That I won't even try to build decks around them. But it just forces me to uh, build decks to like counter them or play around those Digimon. If I remember Lord Knight, I dislike Lord Knight. Not even as the deck, as a Digimon itself. Like, no, I don't like Knight. I try to beat him as much as possible. And I think it was BT5 meta, if I remember right.
Yeah,
Yeah, Lord Knight was ruling over the whole scene. And yeah, won regionals with Black Defeat in that time. And it was inspired because I didn't like Lord Knight. I was like, I don't like this guy. I'm gonna try my best. Stick with what I know. But I'll never touch a Lord Knight Mon deck at that point. So yeah, that's just how I play though. But
And
I do
so,
play test with the deck too. So that I dislike the deck, but that doesn't mean I don't touch it too. Like I would try to um how do you say this? I would try to play a couple games with a deck just to see how it feels, how it draws, how it breaks, what's their game plan. I'd probably put like 10 games around a certain deck for every format, and yeah, once I see their rules, I try to exploit it with my own deck and go from there.
okay. And speaking of Lord Nightmon, so I think, yeah, you're right. That is BT5. That was one of the longer formats and probably one of the more just completely controlled by Lord Nightmon. So how did you fare during that format?
Oh yeah, I mentioned it. I won regionals with Black Defeat.
Okay, so that was a regionals. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I didn't really
Oh
know how much of a success that you had seen there. So that's really good to get a regionals with the Black Defeat at that point. Then.
yeah, because yeah, I basically start if you were on the BT5 time or the BT5 format. Lord Knight was lording over for like a month. Then I started the whole black scene where black won for like four big tournaments in a row. So it started with black defeat, and when people saw this, it's like a whole hive mind of people playing black improved the deck and like won three more times. I think it was a couple of DC Cups and another regionals. Yeah, two DC Cups and one regionals extra, so four times black top during that format. And yeah, it started from there. Cause yeah, I wouldn't say the deck I made was super refined yet, and people are just once there's like more people having had to like play test it or put more ideas into it, they gave the color a chance.
Okay, so are you more overall? I know that specific instance you were the starter and someone else came in and refined it, but are you more the person to take a deck and refine it as it's already had the play success, or are you the one to start that testing out and let other players really build the deck up?
Uh, so far in my playing history, I've always made decks that or had success with decks that people haven't like fully figured out yet. Um, uh, what would be an example? Like an example would be on nationals with my success on nationals. No one thought black had a shot. It was all Agubons. I mean, yeah, Agubon, Gabubons. Um, what else was in that format? Mostly Gabubons.
I can't even
Uh,
remember. It feels like that was just a blip in time that went so fast, and then we get straight into BT7.
yeah, but made probable Black War put on the map there, and no one really thought about it or gave it a shot. So I usually build decks that uh, few people consider, um, but even if some players consider it, they won't really have like the confidence to bring it on a big tournament and try to like really do well with it. So yeah, basically with black, like historically black, a lot of people or a lot of players don't really have like the full confidence to bring black into a big tournament and try to like really have success with it.
All right, and so as I hear you talk, and then also as I watched your video with Limit Break, you are very knowledgeable in what you're talking about, and when you break down your strategies for each game. Coming into Digimon as your first TCG, Where did you get that sort of play style? Is that something that you've always had? Is there another kind of competitive aspect of you that you've done prior to this, or
I would say not really, not really competitively. Like the only other game I do play competitively is a MOBA called Dota, and that game is extremely hard, and you have to think through stuff um, to just get a win. So I guess that helped out. But in terms of TCG playing, I try to play what I enjoy for the most part, and being a fan of Digimon helps out. Like let's say if I play a Machine Dramon deck, I'd enjoy it because I love Machine Dramon, not really because of the mechanics that how he plays through or how he plays out, and just go from there. I won't say though that it's like all fun and games. Like I do have my frustrations with like deck testing. Like I would say BlackWarGreymon. I would like early. So we had a delay, right? And we had like 1 month delay or something like that.
yeah?
Yeah. So a whole bunch of people were proxying some cards. I proxied BlackWarGreymon, and I was like, oh my god, this deck will be like tier 2, 1.5 at best. So I had my days with frustration of the deck, but I don't easily get discouraged with the frustrations. With a deck, I try to like think it over or sleep through it, and like sometimes an idea pops over, then you go play test it again, and eventually like you get to love this deck, and it works out. So that's kind of my take on it. It's not all fun, happy and fun. There is like the hard parts of deck building where you would feel like it's almost impossible to win. But that climb through like the adversity like would help you out to like find a more success through a deck or through playing. I feel like that's why I get more knowledgeable too on certain matchups, because it wasn't easy at first. Like I would get destroyed by Mastermon at first because I would be playing wrong, but eventually not even just yourself. You would figure it out with other players too that would help you out, like either your playtest partners or your friends that you play with. Then yeah, eventually you get the idea that this works, this doesn't work, this is possible, this is not possible, and with that in mind, like I'm just speaking for BlackWarGreymon deck right now. With that, I feel like with the amount of time I put in the deck, I got rewarded with success with it. Just because like I enjoyed it, I got frustrated with it, and I just put a whole bunch of time with it. I didn't truly like give up on the deck.
And it did pay off. I mean, second place with BlackWarGreymon is pretty amazing, and it's kind of one of those things that, especially fans of a deck that is expected to be tier 2, to see that is something that is inspiring. You know, it's not a meta full of only. It's not a repeat of BT7 meta, essentially.
Yeah, yeah, it is like a little bit refreshing to know that like a format won't really be clear cut. Like the winners won't be clear cut. There's gonna be decks that jump in and basically make a rock paper scissors matchup on the format, and it won't be like it won't be like extremely one sided. At first, I thought like Imperial would run over through everything.
Same.
Blackboard, yeah, at the start with proxies, I'm like, this is impossible. How does Imperial get away with this? What was Bandai thinking? Those were my thoughts in the start. But other people did like Yellow Hybrid did well with up against that deck, and eventually I played up against Yellow Hybrid or tested with it, and realized, oh my god, BlackWarGreymon has like extremely favorable matchup against Yellow Hybrid. Um, at first, like it was like a couple mistakes here and there, you would probably lose, but the more you lose, I feel like if if on a game, even like playtesting, I don't know if you felt this or anyone felt this, but I'm pretty sure everyone felt this. Like you would be like, oh shucks, I should have done this move instead of that. I feel like that's a really good like learning process. That's why like putting time or putting games in on a certain deck would really help out, making you like improve on like a certain deck.
So transitioning over to the deck itself, what do you feel in this past tournament was your best performing card other than the titular BlackWarGreymon?
Um, hmm, I'm not too sure. That would be like BT1 Wargrave would be the next best performing card, because it just made the deck not one dimensional. Like BlackWarGreymon is a control deck in its core, but with the access of BT1 Wargrave, now you have OTK potential to do to go along with your plays, or yeah, for some possible plays. And yeah, card saved me a whole bunch of times. Like the matchup against Dan Vang in the last round, it basically won me the round because he got a Greymon set +1 on it and evolved for 3, so swung 3 checks, and I had the Blitz Omni for game, and just saved me a match out of nowhere. So I would say BT1 Wargrave.
Okay. And what about the worst performing card? Even if it's something you
Mm,
decided to keep in, the card that you're just like, hey, I have to have this, but this isn't really something that is the optimal card to have in my hand.
it's not really the worst performing card. It's more of the card that could kill you or lose you the game, and it's BT. It's the Black Agumon. That card is scary. Like if you draw that in your opening hand with no other rookies, and you have a red level 4 to evo into, so you have either a choice to evo for free in raising and possibly not evo anymore, or you drop that, search for 3, search for hopefully a Black Greymon. I mean, search for 4, hopefully for a Black Greymon, and cycle through your deck. So that card literally can lose you a game out of nowhere. It's like it feels like even worse than a brick.
And right now, do you think, especially with like a deck like Black or Greymon, what's better, searching or drawing?
Searching or drawing? Um, Neither. I think the deck itself cycles fast. Searching is always the better one, to be honest, because the deck wants to go into that tower fast, and if you get access to the tower, you slow down the game and start controlling. So I would say searching is the best one. Um, but yeah, you have to. Uh, in terms of searching, it's like you're throwing a body out. So searching is not really like you would search, but I would probably never evo that Agumon that just searched, unless
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to sacrifice that stack. Like I'll just put it into like a level 4 and call it a day just for like the extra draw one.
Okay.
But I would say searching, I guess.
I also saw you play the the 3K pop Agumon, how often did you pull off that effect? Was it beneficial for you?
Um, so yeah, the card came up, and I think I heard this from Ying, the winner, Human or Ying.
Mm-hmm.
So you play cards to you play some tech cards to have it when it's needed, not really to do it consistently. It comes up if that one instance that it saved you a check or a like one security, it means the world to you, especially on a long tournament like 8 rounds, 7 rounds. If it comes up once, that's worth playing the card. So it came up multiple times, uh, like the searchers that um, other decks play. You draw Nokia, you pop that searcher. It just saved you one check. Or another example would be because it has like a DP difference between all the Agumons. Like the rest of the Agumons are 2K, and that one's 3K. And let's say you hit a what do you call this? Billstar Happy Bullet Shower.
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
Billstar Mon. Yeah. So that option it deletes all lowest DP. So you basically dodge one. You saved one rookie because your other rookie was 3K. So it's like that. Those really small instances that help you out. I wouldn't say it it wasn't impactful, but yeah, if it came out even just once in the tournament, I would say it really helped out.
This one.
And yeah, it came out like once or twice uh, to like remove something in the board.
One of those things that are better to have and not need than need and not have.
Yeah, that's exactly the phrase for it.
And so the GeoGray, it's also has its own popping effect. It has its security effect. Did you see that come into play quite often?
Oh, I would not replace that card. That card, even if it does not come often, even if so, the idea that you could you could have the possibility to just wreck a let's say a Imperial Greymon player's day because they swung with their XV turn two. They hit the Geogray and their whole game plan is like blown out of the water. It's like they didn't find the extra rookie or something, and just because the Geogray popped up, and just having that possibility inside your deck is gives you that like the potential to do it, even if it did not come up in the tournament. Um, yeah, the possibility of it being there is just too big to ignore. And Geogray is really strong, but he did come up though. He like came out of security, gave me like an extra body on board, even if he didn't pop something out. Uh, he does come up, or like throwing him down after Mastemon players hard play their Gatomon to do a search, and them hoping that you can't really deal with it because um, yeah, you don't have like removal or anything. Just dropping a Geograve 6 while they dropped it for 5 is like a huge plus. So that card's really good.
I saw you were playing some one of the options and the memory tamers. How did those work out for you?
Oh, so Memory Tamers, um, I really love both Tai and Hero. Like they both really came out on the weekend. Uh, Hero is probably the strongest Memory Tamer. Giving that 2 KDP boost, just, just and on a deck that could swing unsuspended is like infinitely good. But Tai came out multiple times too, where the goal of my deck would be to control the board and make sure that I go tall. I have like multiple Black Wars out at some point, mainly up against like yellow hybrid, and eventually you will have to swing. And Ty giving you that like one extra security from your stacks, like just matters so much, because usually my game plan would be up against almost every single that I will not touch that security. I will let you do your drop your tamers. I will let you do your searchers. I'll swing over it and draw one, and I won't touch the security. We'll stop over there, because that I won't risk anything until I have like a one full OTK swing, even at 5 checks or at 8 checks if it was up against yellow hybrid. So in terms of Ty and Hero, they both come up as one-ups. I wish I could play more, but deck space is limited. And Ultimate Flare came up against X Antibody, not this weekend, but the other weekend, where I got 30th for regionals. And yeah, just having again the same. You rather have it than not. It's the same concept, and I feel like Flare is like probably the best removal right now for BlackWarGrey, outside of Crimson Blaze, because it's the only card that really deals with X Antibody, and you don't want to go into up against X Antibody without an answer, because they might just swing for everything and there's no stopping them.
Yeah. Okay. So I do have a question for those players that are building this deck. They're on a budget. What are some of the cards that you think that could be replaced for better budget options? Like example, Agumon, the starter deck 1 compared to the starter deck 7, or anything else that you could see?
Starter deck 7 Agumon. So that's the 2 KDP when you're swinging at security,
Yes.
or when you're attacking at opponent.
At a player, yeah.
No, so I probably like on rookie side, the most expensive rookie is the plus 2 KDP Agumon.
Mm-hmm.
So if you really don't have access to that one, I would just play the plus 1K, and maybe go into like a Koromon plus 1 KDP egg, just to have like a consistent DP buff. You'd lose the extra draw from the Koromon draw, but in turn it covers the DP needed for Blackwar to like swing over most Digimon. So that one I would just put like the plus 1K as a 4 of, and I would not really play the other starter deck Agumon, the plus 2K when you're attacking at your opponents. My thing with that one is as good at, or as useful it is for like if your eggs were draw eggs, you could swing and draw with like a Greymon or something. It doesn't help out with BlackWarGreymon swinging over something at the field and unsuspending. You don't get the DP buff through that one. So I would really not want to put that one. What else is expensive in the deck?
Really nothing else. The game overall is just very affordable. I think the only other kind of chunk of change would be the Greymon, ST1 Greymon. But the majority of the time that feels very important.
Yeah, that one is hard to replace. Like, without access to Sec Plus Greymon, Blackwar. That's why I felt like at first, but Blackwar fell short on most lists or on my original build. It was like Blackwar mainly for control, but I would never get enough swings in time to finish the game, where my opponent gets some time to figure out the answer, and he could just bounce back. And after they aggro early, and you have like 2 checks left, 1 check left, and they find their answer, and you just lose from there. So BlackWar fell short, and that like a control BlackWar falls short because of that one. And the Sec Plus Greymon really covers for like the pressure for like swinging for game. So that one is you kind of need Sec Plus Greymon, and that's a must.
So in a few weeks, actually, we got a EX2 coming out. Is there anything in there that you are considering testing out in the deck?
EX2. Um, as I mentioned, I'm mainly a black player, so I would be interested in the black cards they are presenting, but mainly because those are Machine Ramon supports. Um, yeah, Machine Ramon finally has some extra support cards to go along with him,
He needed it.
and I'm not sure if it will work though. I have no clue right now. I've been busy with this format, so but I am down to test Steamon also. I'd be excited to test that one. Everyone's excited for probably like Belzemon, Gallantmon, but Sakuyamon for me would be the most interesting one. It's like the whole concept of Sakuyamon, I think it's really interesting. And I dislike the Reaper cards. Like I would do everything in my power to destroy that deck. I'll make a deck to like make sure that deck doesn't become tier 1. So that would be my goal for EX2. And for all the Reaper fans, though, if you might hear that one, but yeah, that's one of my like motivating factors for playing this game. Like there will be a deck that I just don't like, and I will do everything in my power to like stop it. And Reaper is one of them. I dislike this whole archetype, this whole like white. They're not even Digimon to be honest. Pretty sure part of the show cool, but the art is bad. This whole these aren't Digimon. They destroy the whole concept of evolving and stuff like that. No, I'm gonna do everything to stop that deck. And I'm pretty sure BlackWar plays really well up against this deck, so
I really hope so.
Yeah, cause you could swing over the Mother D Reaper. Oh, you just need to go 16k and let them have their stacks and swing over your guy and suspend.
And so after that, EX2 is a BT9. So where do you see the future BlackWarGreymon or just the Greymon line? Do you think it's going to go... Do you think WarGreymon X is going to be better or the Guilemon?
I talked to a couple of friends already. I would be playtesting all three. Gaiomon, WarGreymon X, and Alphamon will be my decks to like really playtest and experiment with, and try to go like optimal with them. But I would go first with Gaiomon. Like during BT 10, right? Or 9? BT
9, yeah.
BT 9, the whole BlackWarGreymon line shifts from Nokia into the new tamer, Maki. And that sounds really interesting to me, and I can finally play a black base instead of red base. So it just gives me more things to experiment with, and there's some cool cards to Domo Deltamon. Oh, that thing sounds really crazy. Reduce the evo cost of 2-color black cards by 2. That thing sounds really good.
I forgot we're getting that in BT9. That's one of the better cards.
Yeah, it sounds scary. Like reduce cost by 2. The damage you could do by that one, you could evo your Metal Greymon for 2 without reduction. So if you have like 1 Mikey out, it's like evo for 1. Digivolve, do something else. Like and I'm pretty sure Gaiomon has like a blitz effect, I think. So if you could swing unsuspended then blitz, oh my gosh, that sounds broken. Or no, he doesn't have blitz. I'm pulling up
The card.
the card right now. But still, like even if you don't play, so if you don't play Ayumon, like the EX Wargrey still comes up. Like you could swing unsuspended then blitz. That sounds really good after evoing for 1 or 2. There's so many good things that that comes out, and it's like it looks like it's good to play around with and experiment. I do like going into a format and just like tinkering around different play styles and different decks and see what works and what not.
Cool, cool. Well, thank you for having this interview with me. It was very kind of you. I've seen you also in the Limit Break Discord just answering questions very honestly and thoroughly. So that's really cool. Is there anything that you want to say? Any shout outs?
Sure. I'll shout out to Limit Break, my teammates over there. Yeah, they're the best. Ever since BT1, I think we've been around. Then a shout out to DXN, the locals I go to. If you guys are ever in SoCal, look up DXN, and yeah, Tuesday. I'm always there on Tuesday nights, but they also do Sunday afternoons for Digimon tournaments. Yeah, if you guys are ever local, so feel free to come over. It's like new players, or if you want like a challenge too. It's a really welcoming place, and I would say it's the best card shop in SoCal so far, which I've been to. But I think that's it.
Awesome. Well, you have a good night, man. I will let you know and share this with you as soon as the video's up.
Oh yeah, for sure. Thank you very much. And yeah, thanks for the interview, and thanks for having me.
Yes, sir. You have a good one.